Okay, if you rise, we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. Welcome to the October 23rd joint meeting of the city and Minnehaha County. Take roll on the county first. We have Cindy, myself, and Jeff. So, and John. Okay.
Commissioner Kelly, thank you so much. We'll have a roll call of our city council.
Council members Aguilar.
Here.
Anderson.
Here.
Entenmann.
Here.
Erpenbach.
Here.
Jamison.
Here.
Karski.
Here.
Rolfing.
Here.
Staggers.
Here. Okay, we've got one item in the agenda. I guess we'll need approval of the agenda. Take a motion from the county.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion second on the county to approve the agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried unanimous.
Commissioner Kelly, again, thank you. If I could have a motion from our city council to do the same.
Move to approve.
Second, Anderson.
Councilor Jameson has made a motion to approve today's agenda. It was seconded by Councilor Anderson Jr. If we could have a roll call vote, please.
Council members Aguilar.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Entenmann.
Yes.
Erpenbach.
Yes.
Jamison.
Yes.
Karski.
Yes.
Rolfing.
Yes.
Staggers.
Yes.
Thank you. That has passed 8-0.
Okay, thank you. First item on the agenda. Cindy, do you want to read that?
Item 1 is Multicultural Center presentation on programs and services available to children, adults, and the community. Christy Nicolaisen.
Good afternoon. I'm not Christy. I'm Mark Millage, Board Chair of the Multicultural Center, and appreciate the opportunity for the Multicultural Center to do this presentation, and thank you for inviting us this afternoon. We have with us a few of our board members. I just want to point them out as well. Sean Clary, Carol Tweet, and Jerry Breck. We get up every third Wednesday at 7 a.m. to conduct some of the business of the Multicultural Center. Also, before we get started with the formal presentation, I want to recognize a former board member who happens to be sitting among you, and that would be Councilor Anderson. And Councilor Anderson left the board at the Multicultural Center at the end of 2011, and we didn't have a chance to present him with his lovely parting gift from the board. Christy, if you want to hand that to him. I'm not going to tell you what's inside it, but suffice it to say that it's a symbol of trust, honor, and wisdom, and we appreciate your service not only to the Multicultural Center but to the citizens at large in the community. So thank you. Thank you. Our purpose this afternoon is really to just bring you up to speed on the programs of the Multicultural Center. I know a few of you attended a series of lunch and learns that we had back in 2011, and we appreciate that, but a lot has happened in the last year. There's some new programs that we want to tell you about. We also want to bring you up to speed on some of the current programs as well. So with that, I'd like to introduce our Executive Director, Christy Nicolaisen.
Hello all. How are you doing?
Welcome,
I'm going
Christy.
to go through the PowerPoint rather quickly because I know you have other business to do. So as you can see, we've changed a lot at the Multicultural Center, even our logo. We work together, we live together, we play together, and so this is a weave of showing how we do that we're all together. Maybe. I can't get it to work. Okay. In 2010, the board recommitted to the mission to provide opportunities for all people to learn, celebrate, and share through cultural experiences.
Christy, I'm going to ask you, would you just mind moving the mics a little bit over, and so we can hear you very clearly, and so the people can hear you as well. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. We've broken down the PowerPoint between adult, youth, and then services for the whole entire community. Adult programs, we have driver's education, educational presentation, cultural celebrations, English classes, Spanish classes, career closet, and housing partnerships. Driver's education has gone through a complete revamping. We do the 16 hours of driver's education class. It's like a little United Nations. We have interpreters doing simultaneous translation, interpretation while the teacher's up there. We have worked a lot of different and new items into the driver's education, just hearing feedback from law enforcement and from Department of Public Safety. So now in driver's education, in the classes, we actually have tarps where we have people walk how to make turns. We work with simulators in the classroom. We've done a lot of skill sets that are missing, that Department of Public Safety says, hey, these folks need more help on. After that, they have 2 weeks of testing, and then they take a test, 3 tests. They're very similar to what DPS does. When I first came, everything was it was a piece of paper with, tell me what these signs mean. What we've moved to is a computer test, similar to DPS, so they get used to using the computer, so they're familiar with that, so when they get down there and they test, they're not intimidated by using a computer. So we've changed that testing. We do 4 hours of simulator. We do ask that they do 30 hours of log driving with somebody too. Again, listening to DPS, their comments on how we can improve in law enforcement and how we can help students improve. We've changed interpreters in the program. Before there was some asking of additional help with the permit test. We have changed that. All of our interpreters are trained to do a very professional job. Educational presentations, we do community-wide. We do diversity training, cultural training. We actually just came from Avera where we did a presentation on interpreters and how to get them trained and what's a trained interpreter. So we do a variety of trainings. Cultural celebrations. 2013 will mark the 17th annual Festival of Cultures. This year we had actually 5,000 more attend. That's the estimate. We had 35,000 show up. One little interesting tidbit is our safety, our traffic counted license plates, and there was like 35 different states represented, which I'm like, that's totally cool. But we had over 100 food, cultural, and sales booths. Other events that we work on, we had a Native American powwow on Native American Day. That was one of our biggest ones. 3 drum groups showed up. We estimate about 400 to 500 people showed, which is one of our biggest ones. We're working on Dr. Martin Luther King Day currently, and so we do other celebrations. English classes. We have an excellent partnership with Southeast Tech where they provide teachers to do English classes at night. We provide the daycare to take care of one of those barriers that parents sometimes have. It is Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 8. Career Closet. We take donations of clothes, and then it's open to the public. All you need is a picture ID, and you can come in and pick out clothes. It's geared towards career, like interview clothes, but since the economy is such as it is, we do take donations for the homeless, and anyone can come in. Housing partnership. This is a new, we've always had the housing partnership, but with Jim Schmidt and his organization, we are stepping up some educational classes that we've talked to immigrants. We've heard their concerns, and we've talked to landlords, and we've heard their concerns, and so we're working on some classes to kind of bring the two groups together. Spanish classes, we have 6-week sessions. We are also working on French and Russian classes because we figure not in 6 weeks you're going to be fluent, but if you can say, hola, ¿cómo está? It takes down barriers and it builds trust amongst people. And so we really think it's important that people know just a little bit of another language, and so it helps build relationships. Immigration services. In December of last year, the board approved having to hire an immigration attorney. I have done immigration work for a long time, but we do have an attorney on staff now, so we can provide immigration services. It is a huge need. Obviously, looking at the populations that are represented here in town, it is a huge need, and so our attorney is doing a great job. There are fees associated with it, but they're lower than a private practice. Interpreting and translating services. MCC has always had the services, but we've broadened it just because of the need out there. Again, we really emphasize trained interpreters out there. Just because you speak 2 languages or 3 languages does not mean you have the skill set to interpret or translate. And so we're really trying to promote with amongst the businesses, make sure you have a trained interpreter, make sure they maintain confidentiality, that they're professional, that they maintain ethics. Translating is a higher skill set than the interpreting. Interpreting is verbal, translating is the written. Written is very literal, so it is a higher skill set, so we are working and providing translating services too. Youth programs. In July of 2011, we became state licensed. So we have a variety of youth programs that we provide. We provide all the transportation except for karate, just because at karate time when that starts, we're busing home the middle school kids. Middle school, I'm really proud about middle school. Before it was a safe place to come, and that's important, but we've really changed. We've implemented curriculum, and we have 6 certified teachers within all the programming, besides the organizational manager who's a certified teacher, and I'm a certified teacher. So education is really important to all of us. In the middle school program, Mark Blackburn's our teacher. He has his master's in education. We are working on not only math and science, but leadership skills. We understand that these children are our future, and so they need to have that capability of making the right choices. And so Mark really does a fantastic job in helping these students start learning on how to make right choices. Froggy Reads, don't you like our little frog? Froggy Reads is a reading program where teachers refer children to us, immigrant and refugee children, to us because their reading assessment scores are low. And so we have a certified teacher in there with tutors working with these children to bring up their reading scores. Stats show that if by 3rd grade you are not up to reading level, then the rest of your school career is going to be a struggle, and that's not what we want. We want these children to succeed. Native Reads, very similar to Froggy Reads. Froggy Reads is immigrant and refugee, and Native Reads is for Native American children. So similar program, teacher referred. We just put, we weave in Native American cultures. We read Native American books. Native Youth is probably our most flexible class. Again, it's elementary. It's held on Friday. We teach Native American culture. For example, respecting your teacher, respecting your elders, which also transfers over to respecting your teacher and your principals. We teach just a variety of different traditions there. Our teacher is from Pine Ridge, and so she's very much into the traditions of Native American culture. Self-defense, this is the class I'd love to go watch, because it's kindergarten through 17, and those little kindergartners, when they kick, they think they're so cool and strong, and they're just adorable, but you can't tell them that, because that makes them upset. No, I'm strong. But they're adorable, but it's a good exercise, and kids learn discipline. Care camp, we have every summer. This last summer, we expanded our care camp. We have a NASA contract, and so we did a lot of NASA activities. Historically, MCC cut it off at 25 per camp. Our last camp, we were up over 60. And so if we can bus them and we can take care of them, then we're going to take care of them. But they did learn a lot about NASA. Ethnic Youth Day happens in April. This year, we actually got to, because of our contract, we actually got to video conference in with astronaut Nicole Stott, which was amazing. I mean, I was even excited. I'm like, this is totally awesome. But we got to talk to Nicole, and then the rest of the activities for the afternoon was how to train like an astronaut and how to walk on the moon. So we had different activities for them. We do catering with different foods from around the world. Our thought being behind this is that sometimes when you have a restaurant, it can be intimidating if you're not used to the food or you're not sure. And so if we can, say, sell you sambusas, you can taste it, and if you like it, then we're hoping that you'll go into some of the ethnic restaurants, because at least you'll know some of the food and you'll know the traditions behind it. We do rent the Coliseum out, built in 1917. It is a very, very beautiful building. We're really The staff takes pride in taking care of the building. We have more weddings booked than I can find any record of. We have Tuba Christmas already booked. We're booked already through December. So I think we've done a good job in letting everyone know. We have the roller dolls coming in. So it is a diverse population of folks that are using the building. We do rent the flags. We have flags from around the world. And then, she is here, yes. Ann Smith will talk about this fall. We started a collaboration with the Sioux Falls School District, the Ombudsman Program, and the Multicultural Center on the Academy. So I'll have Ann talk to you a little bit about that.
Good evening. The Multicultural Academy is a joint...
Microphones to in front of you. Just
Joint,
move
right
them
there.
so they're right in front of you.
Got that?
There you
Okay, thank you. The Multicultural Academy is a partnership with the Sioux Falls School District and the Multicultural Center and Ombudsman Services of America. Ombudsman is a program under Education Services of America. And our target is the students that we have that are over age and under credit. So many of them have come to the United States, and for one reason and another, through interruptions in their life experiences, they have not accrued the credit that they need, and they're not on a track to be able to gain 22 American credits by the age of 21. So they're not going to have a high school diploma, so they're not going to be able to continue on with that dream to go to college and complete the things that they aspire to do now that they're in the United States. Ombudsman Services also runs a program we started 2 years ago with the Ombudsman program for some of our at-risk students. We recognized good success with them. They came to us and said, we'd like to try a pilot targeting ELL students. And that's what the Multicultural Academy is a pilot project. There is not another program quite like this in the United States. There are currently 65 students who are attending at the Multicultural Center. They come in 2 cohorts. One group comes from 6:45 to 10:45, and another group comes at 10:45 and is there until 2:45. The 6:45 group is served breakfast, and the 10:45 to 2:45 group gets a lunch kit. They take most of their educational programming on computer. It's a computer-assisted program that allows them to go at their own pace, so that if they're able to complete 4, 5, 6 credits in a semester, they do so. At the same time, there are also teacher-led activities, both one-on-one and in small groups, so that the students get plenty of opportunity to speak and listen and build those English skills, because that's certainly one of the things that we want to see happen. There are about 9 different languages represented amongst the students, those 65 students that we have. About half of them would be 9th graders, and then the other half are spread across with the fewest right at the top, although we do anticipate having some graduates at the end of this year already. So it's been a good partnership with the Multicultural Center. Starting off a new program, you always have just a few things that you have to iron out and get figured out that come along and surprise you, but I feel like we've done a good job of communicating and targeting and getting those problems worked through.
Thank you. Have you anything more, Christy?
No, I was just going to ask
Okay.
this question.
Thank you for your presentation. Is there any old business to be brought before the group?
How about questions?
Go ahead.
Commissioner, can we open it up for questions of Christie?
Oh,
Would
yeah.
that be okay?
Yeah, if there's anybody in the, yeah. Christy, would you stand up and?
Sure.
Did you have a question?
No.
Hey, does anybody have a question of
Very good.
Christy? Kermit.
Yes. How much does the city give you for your budget?
It is $160,000. About $160,000.
And
100 towards programming, and then the utilities are paid.
So about $160,000. Now, I noticed you had some fees for some of your programs. How much money do you bring in from fees? And
All the after-school programming is for free. Career Closet's for free. Driver's education, We charge $110, 10 is tax, of course. We figure it's about $500 to put them through the program, though. Immigration is a brand new program, so we're, it's one of those in progress so far. We are not in the black yet, but I anticipate we will, because there's just cost of training a new attorney and trainings and all that good stuff. I think that's all of our programs. I can't go.
Also, too, how many people do you have on staff full-time?
Full-time? We have 4 full-time. Everyone else is part-time or a contracted interpreter.
I guess I'm just trying to find out. At $160,000 from the city, I know that we, our original contract or agreement that we had many years ago, it said we would provide for the operating expenses of the facility. But you have 4 full-time people. You get revenue from where else?
For the after-school programming, we receive money for United Way and 21st Century and Citibank. Driver's education is fees in the city. We got a $10,000 grant from State Farm, but it's like a 1 year. So that one we're constantly looking for money. Immigration, we got a grant from the foundation to start that. So, I'm put on the spot again. Sorry, I would have brought the finances. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Christy, I have a couple of questions too, if I might.
Sure.
Basically, you are open about 7 days a week at the Multicultural Center. Is that correct?
Right.
And from a service standpoint, about how many folks do you believe, adults and children, are you actually serving?
Children-wise, we have about 700. We just did our 21st century, so we had 758 children registered for the 2011-2012 school year. Driver's education, we figure we work around 500 people per year. Immigration, I don't have those stats right now. Rentals, I would say most of the weekends are filled. Rentals are, we only charge $35 an hour, trying to keep it, sorry, I forgot about that one. Trying to keep it reasonable for people, because I know other places charge more, but we have to cover costs. Last year, it was around 14,000 is what the estimate was, between Career Closet, all the programming.
Any more, Jim?
Good right now, thanks, Dick.
Go ahead, Dean.
My questions are mainly around, I'm interested in more on the Multicultural Academy with the school district pairing, if I could ask a couple questions. Informational, I guess. Do you provide teachers for this program? Does the school district have a budget for the Multicultural Center?
Yes, the school district is contracted with Ombudsman, which is under Education Services of America, and in that contract with them, they provide 3 teachers, a program director, and all of the computers that are necessary for the computer-assisted instruction. But yeah, the district has a contract with them to pay for that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Is there any other questions? Go ahead, Mayor.
Commissioner, thank you. Christy, and thanks for the presentation. I appreciate it. Mark or Christy, we're nearing the time of the year when families start to write checks to nonprofits and organizations that they care about. Would you mind explaining to the public how aggressively you pursue that and just how successful you've been?
I've been ordered by the executive director. The Multicultural Center, Christy's been with the Multicultural Center a little over 2 years now, and she's been very aggressive in pursuing grants from different organizations, has done a very good job of securing many grants that help to sustain these programs. On an individual basis, that's still a work in progress. And I think, as to your point, as people think about the holidays, there are a lot of services that the Multicultural Center offer that aren't offered anywhere else, and the support of our citizens. And when we think about diversity, it's an all-inclusive game here. It's not just Native American or refugee or immigrant. We were all refugees and immigrants at some point in our families. So from a Multicultural Center standpoint, diversity is what we celebrate. I should mention too, it wasn't, I don't know if it was clearly pointed out, but with the Multicultural Center, Multicultural Academy, the Multicultural Center's role in that is to provide a facility, receiving no compensation. But we really believe that you have a facility that's available. The after-school program starts at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And you heard those students, that first cohort, they come to school at 6:45 in the morning. So we really believe, as good stewards of the facility, which is a county-owned facility, that, and all of this done, of course, in cooperation with the county, that we make the best use we can of the facility. And so we give the facility to the district in partnership. They pay the ombudsman to provide the education, but ultimately we all win because the students, future leaders in this community, are served with the education that they need so that they can move on and succeed in life and succeed within the community. So, long answer, but back to your original question. You know, not only do we welcome gifts from the community, but we welcome their interest. And if they want to take a look at the facility, you know, at what we do, simply contact Christy. She's there during the day, and I think if you have that opportunity to see firsthand the after-school program, you immediately see what kind of impact we can have on the future generations in this community. If you want to see the facility in general, the old Coliseum, which has been just remarkably redone, come to a roller dolls match. I mean, there are a lot of opportunities, and Christy's done a great job in terms of marketing the facility so that the community at large can use it on a more frequent basis. That's what it's there for.
Mark, again, thanks for your leadership, and Christy, thanks for your leadership. I think there's no doubt that you folks, you watch those dollars like a hawk, and you're very, very frugal with the dollars that you do receive. I can't speak on behalf of the county, and I shouldn't speak on behalf of the city council either, but I think you'll find that more and more we are really encouraging those private and public partnerships more and more. And so anything that you can do to reach out to the public to try to get those private donations, and maybe over the next 60 days would be a great time to do it. I think I know I would strongly encourage you to do that, and so good luck to you, and again, thanks for all you're doing.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Anybody else have a comment or question? Okay, seeing none, then is there any old business to be brought before the group? Is there any new business to be brought before the group?
Mr. Chair, I would move adjournment.
Second. I have a motion and a second on the county's part to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Is there a motion on the city council's part?
So moved.
Second.
Councilor Rumbach's made a motion to adjourn this meeting. It was seconded by Councilor Entenmann. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
We are adjourned.
Thank you so much.
5 minutes till the next meeting.
Can you make it out?